Vega, but I don't see them being that big. Vega's going to be able to actually win this on money and almost money alone. This Ven's a huge problem, though. This Ven, if he gets if a Force gets massive, he's going to shred apart Vega's lineup. But it's only if he gets massive, and I think he's going to lose a lot of his buildings before he can do so.
So last pick of Sven, Draskell, what do you think about that?
It reminds me of old Alliance and Empire. When they used to pick Wisp and Sven a lot, they would go like phase drums, just run crazy fast, just buy BKB, Mask of Madness even, just go into team fights. I feel he's very high single target damage, and he's also very high AoE damage as well when you get to the late game. So he still matches up well against Gyro, who is primarily spread damage, like you're relying on flak, and you're called on to be able to kill people during the late game, which is obviously very good against Wisp, which Navi do have. But I think that if the Sven gets enough items, Navi always have the opportunity to win the game, just because of relocates and what God's Strength can give you. Just sheer burst damage potential, one crit just ends the game. So it is definitely scary for Vega.
And Ben, what do you think about the laning phase then? If Navi are going to be running that Sven, dual lane's a huge possibility.
It's definitely
here.
their weak point, I would say. I mean, on top of that, they don't have any way to interrupt a BKB black hole, so they're actually concentrating on winning the early game so that they don't get BKBs, because they have like almost 0 BKB counters, whereas Vega, they're already really good at kiting. Like, Witch Doctor Cass is enough of a dissuasion versus this double melee. They have the Enigma Black Hole. They have Beastmaster with his Roar. So it's going to be tough if it gets to BKB wars, and Navi need to win it early. Need to get 10,000 gold lead by 30 minutes and to have a really good shot at winning.
Now, it almost seems like Vega are actually going to be putting Mag at the top lane. Can they run as sort of a pseudo aggressive dual lane? Basically at bottom to be able to contest?
I don't think so.
No,
well, if it's just the Bloodseeker down there, you can get away with it, and that's exactly what Navi are doing. They're actually taking...
If they expect an aggro, then yes.
Yeah, but they're actually sending Sven up towards the top lane, so you just leave the Beastmaster on the top to deal with it, and then Navi practically have to change their lanes up almost instantly, unless they're happy with the fact that Sven can be on top lane fighting some decent farm, but they're probably not going to find kills. Like, the Dazzle might be able to aggressively move into the jungle and contest the Enigma's movement, but beyond that...
I think they just switch it up now. I think then they just move Bloodseeker top and then just move the Tri to bottom, and then the Tri can win the lane as well as pull, so it's a win-win. But, I mean, the Radiant offlane. The Radiant offlane, I think... Radiant offlane as a Tri, I think, is much stronger, because even if you don't win the lane, you can out-economize by using that big pool. If you're on the Dire offlane, it's not as easy.
All right, Draskell, I'm going to give you the last word here. Quick final thought before we cut over to our casters.
I think it's very likely that the Sven gets kited this game, as Ben said, and I do think that Vegas draft is stronger. Navi are going to have to outplay to win.
All right, guys, and that brings a close European Grand Finals here for the TI Qualifiers, Navi versus Vega, game number 1 in this best of 5. We pounced it off to our casters, Toby1 and Merlini.
Well, Merlini, let's see what kind of hell we're about to walk into, because... I'm loving this from Vega. I'm actually worried that your 3-0 prediction will not be correct.
I think they're relieved. They're like, yes, we made it to Seattle, and then, they...
Yeah, you're saying for Vega is relieved they made it, or is it Navi and they're just gonna like chill and relax a little bit here?
Vega's relieved. They surely are. I don't know. Maybe it'll be the same story as a North American.
Man, if I was Vega, if I'm reading Vega, I think they're absolutely ecstatic and they're riding a high and they're looking to push for number 1. Like, that's it. They want to get the main event. None of this wild card kind of business.
What about like Nard? Nard, they beat Mouse 2-1, and then they just get crushed in the grand finals because they're like, yes, we finally made it, and then they use all their effort on winning the lowest bracket finals.
Are you trying to compare American Dota to CIS Dota? Like, CIS, once you start drinking vodka, you don't stop drinking vodka. It keeps going. The train keeps going. Where in America, I'm not going to go on that one, actually.
Mouse, American, come on, Toby.
Yeah. What is that nonsense? Land finals, next TI. Bump. So, Lanes, Funnick, best of luck to him. So, Vega will be running a aggro tri-lane in a way, because Enigma has come to the Radiant jungle. He'll be here for a limited time only, but he is going to be just avoiding completely Navi's movement on the top.
That's a really smart move by Vega, and I think dodging just puts... It's way better for Vega because they have the Enigma. They want the Enigma to be completely uninterrupted, and then Navi, they want to be stacking with Wisp, to try and counter that farm. But if you're in the Dire jungle, you don't really want to stack, especially when there's a Gyro and a Quap and a Beastmaster and an Enigma. All of those can take out stacks. So
it's too easy to lose it out, so why not have your presence on the bottom lane where you can actually lend a Malefice or potentially help him get first blood?
Yeah, I mean, the supports either need to take down the tower really quickly so they can utilize the opponent's jungle, or they need to get a TP scroll onto Dazzle really quickly. so he can help out old poor Bloodseeker, who's currently just sitting at the tower.
This is actually really smart from her, well, from all of Na'Vi. They're creep skipping this out primarily because Mag used the board to pull the camp up, and he probably thought, hey, now I can just farm onto my own tower, I can get experience, but it's allowing a Wisp combo with a Dazzle to potentially dive under your tier 1 tower, and it's coming at a large cost. We're only, not even 2 minutes in, and that tower's down to 1/3 of his HP.
But you can tell that Na'Vi have the right mentality. They have two options. One, take the tower, take over opponent's jungle, or B, move down to the safe lane, but moving down to the safe lane is slowing down the game. And again, slowing down the game is bad because BKB wars Na'Vi loses. So they're taking it very aggressive, very fast. This is going to be like a sub 3-minute tower, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Dendi and no one. It's a lane really to watch. It was one of these things which I was thinking about saying during our team profiles about Dendi, that like in the first series that Na'Vi played, the one where they got 0-2, Dendi played his puck, and I sat there watching it from the couch, and I'm sitting there going, you know what? Dendi is playing as good as we're probably going to see any player play during the European qualifiers, but the rest of his team just didn't come up to the mark, and I really want to see just how well Dendi is capable of doing in that mid, especially on this puck. The maneuverability on this hero is just so massive, and he's got such great abilities up against his opponent, his Queen of Pain, because of the silence, because of the heavy control over on the Quap, and he also has great dodge abilities against No One too. So Dendi could just completely outplay No One, and this could change the tides of the entire game of Vega. Doesn't matter how much the Enigma's going to get, it's a Queen of Pain with no momentum up against a puck with momentum. You can get completely controlled out if Dendi can do that.
It's a classic matchup.
It really is. It really is. But we've lost the Quap, so took a large amount of damage from Dendi, and then the rest of Vega paused for him.
He's so good at dodging, and then he gets Shadow Strike. Unfortunately, he was really close to that orb dodge on the Shadow Strike, but still, he's quite. Does Quap have a salve on her?
Nope. She's actually got to go back to base unless that's a bottle. But she doesn't have the cash for a bottle.
The problem is she is really low, and once he gets level 4, he can actually go for a kill on the Queen, and Queen at least needs 1 more CS, and she doesn't have enough mana to scream. She actually went level 2 Blink. That is very, very unusual, and I think it's probably a misskill. If I had to say whether or not it was a misskill, but that is the getting level 2 Blink isn't really that great because it's just a straight up cooldown reduction, which is only useful if you're chasing people, but there's no point in chasing people if you don't have any damage. So I mean, if you're like, leveling up, you press Control Q as opposed to Control W, it's very easy that the finger would slip, but I'm trying to think of any other valid reason where you would go level 2 Blink or level 2 Shadow Strike.
To trade off the damage for that, it doesn't make any sense at all. Like, a level 2 Shadow Strike would be a hell of a lot better, but you want Scream. Like, you want to have both of them so then you cannot dodge them. So you actually want to have the double damage option.
Yeah, and it's unusual for sure. Yeah, I think it's just a straight up misskill. Unfortunately, that's really bad because the lane is very, very like close to begin with, and very minor things can upset the balance of that. And because of this, like let's say he has, he got 2 more Shadow Strikes off that were level 2, and then now both of them are at low HP, and I don't know if Dendi has a salve or not. Probably not. Okay, so he doesn't have a salve, but now like what is the Queen of Pain going to do? She is much ahead on CS though, 9 versus 2, but if she doesn't get that last one, what is she going to do? Get a salve and then have to wait for the chicken to go all the way there,
walk all the way back to base, pick up a TP scroll, you burn too much money, you would never get the bottle in time, and Dendi would then catch up on all your CS. You
want to be able to, like, in an ideal situation, you want to get your bottle and then get the 2-minute room, but that very rarely happens if you start off with a null. So yeah, I'm not exactly sure how that's going to go for the Queen of Pain, but she needs at least 1 more CS, and she can't scream for it. So maybe she can get the 1 more hit under her tower, and then that'll be a lot easier.
Yeah, then the bottle can come out, but that means just going to be very, very cautious of Dendi's positioning. We do have No One now back into the game, so we hit the go button, and we'll start up again. As No One, no, he turns for it. Even trying to Niso gets closer, and yeah, he's got all the space in the world. Dendi's making a run for the bounty rune. Okay, he's just dodging some of the damage, but he's going for the bounty rune anyway. I like how the Beastmaster basically cut his path to experience on this top lane. The top tower is still going to go down, but he's trying to get close enough that he can get experience. So there's a small, that's the little gap right there which he's cut open. which allows him to get just close enough to pick up some experience. But without the tier 1 tower, there's no support coming his way. It's not a great time for him, but he's the sacrifice lane for Vega, because they've still got an Enigma who's got 14 CS out of the Radiant jungle.
Well, I don't know where the bottle is, but it's not coming on the way for... Okay, it's been...
There's a bottle.
It had been a call to wait, though, because he had it like 30 seconds.
It's got the extra pieces for Pasha. So it'll have to move down to the south.
Well, he has picked up Scream, and he's still ahead on CS, so he's doing very well in the lane, even though he's pressured. Now he's completely okay with the bottle. So that's good. We see Funnick skirmishing around a little bit with the Enigma, most likely just keeping tabs, making sure Dendy can keep up the aggression in the mid lane. And, well, I mean, with the poor man shield, it's so incredibly difficult to harass him.
I'm actually wondering, too, if it's better for Solo to be here right now. Because
well, you can't be in your own jungle, not with your T1 down.
You can't be in your own jungle, but you're also making it so Funnick is capable of fighting levels, because he's leeching the experience off the Enigma, and then coming in, farming up a couple of the conversions when possible. So you're still giving something to the Bloodseeker here, where there's really nothing going to the Beastmaster yet.
It's still better than like having the high potential of dying in that offlane. They have the Observer Ward in their own jungle, so they can actually scout out the movements of the supports and of the Sven, I say a little bit more importantly. And as long as they're up there, he can at least get gold, right? So earlier gold is earlier mech. I'd rather sacrifice experience over gold if you're in the position of the Enigma. Actually, I mean, he'll still get level 6 at a decent time. They have Seema there to help leech.
That bottom tower's going to get pushed pretty shortly. So what do we got for the bottom rune? So it's just going to be a bounty for the quad, but it's bottle charges more importantly for her. She needed that after she spent most of her bottle charges just to recover from the initial harassment of Dendy.
Enigma's out of mana, and their chicken's actually busy tied up. I think I saw Basilius on the chicken, but if he doesn't have a soul ring, he's also going to have to go home and heal. And okay, he does have a soul ring.
But
that's important.
Everything a good Enigma needs, and he's actually leaving the bottom lane now. So he's going to move over to the Dire side, quite visibly showing himself while he does it though. So right underneath the tier 1 tower as the creep wave's coming up, he could have potentially gone through the tree line and kept that a little bit more of a secret. At Artstyle, down the bottom lane, Pash already opening up. They need a little bit more damage. Maybe there will be enough. The Shallow Grave, but the paralyzing cast is just isolated with Artstyle, and now should be his death. He's going to TP back to base, but not in time. Vega will spill the first blood, and that's a big one. It goes the way of the gyrocopter as well.
That hero creep. It blocked him in. It cast bounce to him, so he couldn't just grave TP, and well, easy first blood from Vega.
That's fantastic. When you're on a dual offlane, you've just taken the Enigma away too, and you still haven't lost this Beastmaster. We were talking about it at the start when we were looking over Vega, just how little Mag dies when he plays these offlane roles. Yes, he's not playing the jump and initiator here. He's just playing a very passive Beastmaster kind of play, but he's also not giving the options for Navi. He's playing very defensive through the tree lines. Now the creep wave pushes into the tower. He'll get his experience, and Sven can't stay up here forever, because he's going to actually start to get out CS because the creep wave's pushing in too far. He's only got these two camps on the side which he's capable of farming up, as well as the top creep wave, and that can only sustain you for so long.
Yeah, I think it's about an even trade-off. Look, like Funnick CS is really high. Some of them are Eidolons, but at the same time, you have Wisp pouring up the jungle camps by pulling, and then you have Enigma doing the jungle. So overall, I think the economy damage is not too bad. I'd be curious to see what Sven is going for. He shouldn't be going for a greedy build because again, later is bad for Navi.
Yep.
So like,
so shouldn't be going Midas.
Midas is, I would say, not a good choice here. He's not farming it that quickly either. I mean, if he wanted, he could have had it by now, but instead he went Shreds. So I think it's a sign of a more aggressive build, maybe a Drums, Blink.
Would it be worth going directly into a BKB for Vega, for this event, considering just how much
I don't think
counter
so.
BKB there is?
It's kind of like, definitely not first. It's kind of like Gyro going BKB first. You just lose out on too much. You know, you can't really farm that much. You still die occasionally. And
nice bottom lane fun. Real trouble for him. That cooldown from Pasha, combining it with the Rocket Barrage, is a lot of work. Solo, not too healthy here, but Arstyle doesn't have anywhere near the damage. Again, we'll see the Shallow Grave, but he's not using the TP scroll this time around. He'll go for one wave heal and look towards Solo, but it's already done. So Pasha with a double kill, getting all 3 of Vega's kills here at the start before the 7-minute mark.
Well, this bottom lane has just been an absolute disaster for them. They had the Observer Ward down next to the rune spot. It's expired come 7 minutes, but like at this point, how do they really expect to contest the lane with just a Dazzle and a Bloodseeker? Maybe at level 1 they can because Enigma's not that strong, but now that Enigma is very high level, has Black Hole skilled, there is just no way for them to really do anything in that lane without just feeding more and more kills. Puck is going for a more aggressive build with more than 1 point in waning rift. He's actually going a 2-3-1 build. This is, you'll see 2-2-1 very commonly versus the Quap. 2-3-1 means he definitely wants to kill the Quap. And you could see just by his orb jaunt into a coil, he almost was able to secure that. But Queen of Pain countering it with a very high HP build with Magic Stick, Belt of Giant Strength into Treads.
Alright, so for Mag, man, I want to ask you the question now. What does he build into? The Mega's been taken care of by the Enigma. He's got all the farm in the world from the jungle, so he's cool doing that. What do we want to see from the Beastmaster? Is it Blink? Do we look for Necros? Do we look for what?
Blink's pretty good here. I personally am a bigger fan of the Aura build from Beastmaster. Like, drums if you need it. I mean, Gyro might get it in the end. Like Vlad, so you can do Roche with your lineup.
Yep.
Again, if you get Roche, you can drag the game out longer, and that's very, very good for them.
With Vlad's and Meg too. Yeah. That's one hell of an Aura Force pushing down towers. Funnick again gonna be caught in trouble. The Sonic Wave has already arrived from no one, and that's got the Heartstyle so low in the tree line. He managed to heal up a little bit, but Funnick trapped in here with Pasha. Now it's Echo coming in, maybe that savior of NAVI arriving in time, and it will be. Denny will pick up the double kill after arriving into the fight. The Queen of Pain was the first one to jump it in, but there's a trade-off happening at the same time.
Man, Funnick survived for so long there. I was actually pretty surprised that he was able to live. And Puck should be closing in on Blink maybe in like 3 or 4 minutes, I'd say, and that's when the real aggression can really start. Okay, actually, it's going to be a really long time. He should have a lot more CS probably, considering how the lane was going, but you know, he's usually pretty close in CS in terms of last hits and denies, and this time he doesn't actually have that many denies. Again, this is a trade-off for the more aggressive playstyle with the more points in the Waning Rift, with the way that he's edging up on the Queen of Pain, and also the Queen of Pain is not really scared of a gank, just because like Dazzle can't really do that much. He can blink out from a Sven, and also doesn't rebuild that much, and they have the nice Observer Ward that is pointed out. Whereas Navi, he has to be scared of the Enigma. Enigma can just rotate from behind Black Hole and Puck's dead. So there was like a window, maybe like 6 to 8 minutes, where Puck has to be a lot more scared.
Especially when it's vision, like we kind of forget about it a little bit with Beastmaster. Ever since his Hawk got nerfed, you don't really expect the Hawk to be running in front of a whole bunch of heroes looking for the pickoffs. But now you actually see where Vega, like Mag, he had that Hawk watching over the Radiant Ancient, so he knows there's a stack over there, and Vega can try and contest this. And this is the flash farming for Revolt. He went for the Morbid Master to start with, some casual lifesteal to keep him in fights and also allow him to do jungle and not be at really, really low life if he does get counter initiated. In fact, the full Mask of Madness being purchased, but Vega won't let this stand for long. So either you push out the bottom lane, which it looks like they're trying to do right now, and you force a trade-off for, or if you're taking opposite stacks for a force, this is fantastic. But if you're losing your tier 1 towers on the lanes, it's almost not as worth it.
I don't think they can contest it though because of Black Hole. I think it's and it's really important to get Iota's level 6. I would like to see them get more farm on Dendy just so he can get the Blink Dagger and start getting out of control, just because I think he's a very pivotal hero, but also it is very important to have a very stacked Sven, and he's on his way there. 80 CS, 11 minutes.
TP in by the Witch Doctor to the mid lane, but I'm not seeing the rest of Vega rotate up to try and stop Navi from going for this mid tower. And you do have Relocate available, but Seema hanging around tower.
Do they smoke as they rotate to mid?
I do not know, but they're coming in from behind. That's all I can say at the moment. And yep, your answer is yes. It's a full smoke up. No one with that Sonic Wave. Arstyle and Denny are pretty close together, and Seema, well, he's already used the Paralyzing Cask. His control factor's gone. The smoke's going to break. The Observer Wall, they're right on top of the Rupture. Instantly on the Queen of Pain. She actually has to stop moving for now. The Midnight Pulse from Solo trying to split the fight up a little bit more, but no one's practically dead. He's never going to get the Sonic Wave up before his death, but the cooldown's going to do some work from Pasha. Arstyle so low. Denny just having to run himself away past his own Ancients, but Arstyle will die. So a quad for a Dazzle, a well worth trade. But the tier 1 tower wasn't taken out by Navi, and now Vega will take the tier 1 in mid.
Did they? What were the Sven and the Wisp doing? Were they taking out the Ancient stack?
No, they walked straight past it. They weren't there for it. I think they just ran up for the top rune and weren't there for the start of the fight.
They're both really low. They had to have been doing something. Is the ancient stack still there? I think it was like a 3 stack. Okay, yeah. So
yeah, you're right. They must have been.
They need to finish that like right now.
Especially as the dive just seen it.
Yeah.
Gyrocopter with one set of flat cannons, he's got the whole thing.
That's a lot of like they want to do the stacks very early on so that they don't steal. Again, they have like 4 heroes that can do the stack. So getting that up. Well, I wonder what he's gonna go for after. I think if he gets a blink, they can just kill Quap like almost every time. Very early on in the fight, but that was pretty good considering what the fight was. It was like a 3v5, 3v4. Okay, well, the stack's very low. Sven has the ulti up. Bomb. There they go.
Even committing God Strength to make it done a little bit quicker from Sven. So Vega not really looking as strong during the team fights at the moment. Like when it happens, but that Sven's getting so much farm that like killing him off during the fight is going to be very difficult. Plus Wisp has the relocator, which we still haven't seen used yet. So Vega haven't had to fight from multiple sides yet.
Gyro's getting a lot of farm too. He's keeping up with Sven, even though Sven has had a lot more stacks because of him being able to do Ancients. So this is pretty nice start for Vega. I would say much better than I would hope for in their sort of situation. You're worried about the Enigma, getting a little bit shut out. You're worrying about your Gyro not getting that much farm, but both of those have happened.
Yep. And Navi's finding their grip now is at the Blink Dagger on the puck. So we should be looking at Dendi, looking for some initiations across the map. And in fact, he does it. He plays this almost, I don't want to say like his Pudge, but he likes his timing where you just get all done up. Oh, there's your Black Hole Funnick. Such a quick death. They just commit double ultis.
I think he could have at least helped there. If he blinks in and coils and stops it and then runs in and silences, but he was just there a little bit too late. It was a very nice TP by Funnick the fight before because he TP'd, popped the smoke in the reveal for the ward. But
I would look for the relocate in right now.
Yeah, they don't have hold. This is a great time for them to fight.
Especially when you have an unrevealed Blink Dagger, but this is the vision of Na'Vi. They don't see anything. Their Observer Ward got de-warded, so they don't know the opportunity is there. Even though we can see it, they cannot.
It's okay. They're still getting a lot of farm out. 5 heroes were mid for Vega, and then 2 heroes farming top, and they're farming mid lane in the meantime. And Denny's been able to get a lot more runes. I think he got there was a haste rune for the Wisp earlier. They got the rune for him right there with the invis. So that's another smoke used. And
ooh, is it a slip in? No, they're actually coming for kills. They're looking for the Dire Ancient stack.
It's down.
Yeah, but they have an Observer Ward now planted so they can watch it. And they can just pop into Roshan, but the Hawk is watching. The Hawk is always watching. So the second Na'Vi break out of this, and they've got nowhere to really look for it either. So, boom, boom, the pings are coming out.
Are they close enough? They aren't close enough.
Yeah, they're going to try and contest. There's Solo. He doesn't have Black Hole available, however, but the Midnight Pulse will come down, and Avors and Funnick, they're sticking with it. They're not backing up. No one's on the high ground. No Sonic Wave available. They're going to stun him up, and in comes your call down with your Flag Cannon, Rocket Barrage. No one's still alive on the high ground, and will he finally drop? Yes, he will to Dendy. The Dream Call might have been holding him in position, but really, it's just happy. Vega was happy to be there. The Death Wall from Zima outside the base. Now it forces back to World of the Living. You may have got Roshan, but you've lost your life, you've lost your team, and Dendy is the only man to survive that Roshan engagement.
Very risky play by them. At the end, they did get it, so it wasn't the worst thing in the world. I think like if Vega steals it and 5-man wipes them, it's really bad. But this is acceptable, I'd say. It was a very high risk, medium reward play for them, and they just don't have that good roach vision. With the Wisp Spirits not giving vision anymore, they have to expend an orb.
I'm surprised they didn't even look for the Hawk. You could have put a ward in the high ground and a sentry right next to it, and you would have seen the
freeze. It's really difficult to see.
Yeah. But that's why we needed just the obs on the high ground, but no one. I guess such a weird position for him to start too. But the hilarious thing is, Dendy followed him, and he had no way to get back down again. And then Seema, like we talked about his positioning as an Earthshaker, but he does it on almost any support hero he plays. That Death Ward's in the perfect position where Vega cannot control him. Navi cannot control him.
Well, I think they underestimated 2 things. Firstly, their fight potential without Black Hole. I think they severely underestimated. Imagine if they had Black Hole there. That would have been white. That would have been white, right. So they thought that they could take a fight without Black Hole, and on top of that, they did a lot of damage before they actually got in the pit with the nice Midnight Pulse from the outside.
This is what we missed while we were watching the replay. So it looks like Dendy got solo picked off by Pasha in the river.
Being super greedy with the runes, and yeah, it's not looking very good for Navi. They need to pick up a lot more kills. very, very soon.
Vega are the ones rolling with the momentum. And that gyro is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Even Queen of Pain, that Aghanim Scepter is only an inch away for her, and the inch being 700 gold. And even the Witch Doctor, Medallion of Courage arrived for him shortly after the Roche fight. You got a level 2 Necro, I believe it was, over on the Beastmaster. Maybe that was a level 1 Necro book, which arrived over on him. Yeah, it's level 1. But Mag is now finding this push power. So he's deciding to go against the whole initiation, because NAVI seems to be doing that for them. So it's just turning into this raw counter initiation, keep the vision up, and provide the Necro units for the fight.
Well, Smoke has been used. I believe they saw Gyro go, and Gyro alone, that deep, very unlikely for Vega to make that play. So they can definitely suspect that there are more people behind him, especially now that Black Hole is up. So Havost has proceeded into an Ogre Club, and Enigma has his Blink Dagger, so it's very dangerous for Navi. One good Black Hole could just completely wipe away half the map control for them.
Oh, at least Danny's going to get a little bit of vision here on Mag. The relocate's coming in, and they want to commit. They're picking up the Necro book. Only Seneko coming in by himself. He didn't bring any friends. And this means the Seneko, well, actually, his Necro unit is actually trapped in the tree line, so it can't come up and attack him. So Danny will finish off Beastmaster, and this Wisp wasn't really forced away at all. A little bit of a disastrous summoning there, but still, good pick off for Navi.
Well, BKB up on Sven. Again, it's kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you use it, you're going to get owned by BKB as well as Roar. But if you don't, you're going to get owned by Cask as well as like Malefice and all these other things, Shadow Strike. So, I mean, he has to get it at some point. So, but it is 4,000 gold.
He'll just go standard progression. It's There's no other choice really. They're real, like, you could potentially go into what? Assault Cuirass?
You can go for crit. You can go for crit so you can farm faster so you can get your BKB faster. That's pretty much the only other option, right? It's kind of like Luna is going for, you know...
Like the casual Yasha thing,
or some people go like Butterfly before BKB just so you can farm your BKB faster. If you know that there's not going to be a lot of fighting. But again, they're supposed to be fighting a lot, and you know, Vega just owned them at the Roche. And that's going to set them back so much.
And Vega want to fight even more now that Aghanim Scepter fully done for the Quap. Under 20 minutes, she's able to finish that. Plus having some extra help from her teammates, like this Blink Dagger on Enigma with the mech. Now Navi can't go for Roshan if that Enigma is up, because he's got an easy jump into the pit. And you're never winning the vision battle when you're going up against a Beastmaster. Not a Beastmaster on the dire side, so you kind of got to accept the fact you've lost that.
So again, we see a Bloodseeker that just can't really do that much. Like, what is he supposed to do versus Gyro and Dazzle duel, or Gyro plus Witch Doctor dual lane with Enigma in the jungle? He just really can't do that much. I think he made the best of a bad situation.
Solo, is it worth the hull? No, not even required. It's a double damage Quap with the Sonic Wave. It's just a hit and run kind of thing, and no one got the license plate in Vega.
Dendi also misses Blink. I saw him waning Rift, but he wasn't actually in range for anyone to... they need return kills. He's had this Blink for... I think he got it at 13 minutes, and he hasn't been able to get the kill. I think he was like 3-0 before he got his Blink Dagger, and they just really haven't been able to make anything happen.
Well, every other time it's been Navi who are the ones being initiated on while they're pretty much grouped up, or in this case now solo. Like the one big dream call he had was right on top of the Roche pit, which is where Vega walked into, and that was all. He's going to find his next level of control coming in with the Yule Scepter now, 20 minutes into the game. Should also keep your eyes very closely on Denny's. He'll blink up solo. Potentially can clean up the tree line with a Midnight Pulse, and that might find him. Denny just playing the Smoke and Mirrors game.
And Enigma's BKB is coming out pretty darn soon. And Navi, they have to be worried about this.
They haven't slowed him down at all. Like, okay, when Enigma first started coming back, what was it, 3, 4, maybe 5 months ago? Like, there was these missions to go into the enemy jungle, ward up every single camp to make sure the Enigma had no space to grow. And this Enigma has had all the space. First starting in the Radiant jungle, then moving on to the Dire jungle, even helping out with a couple of kills here and there, like the one on the mid lane with the Black Hole committal, like that was perfect, and then went back to his farming. Navi's got no presence on him at all. Like, there's no, like, you think an Enigma should be, no committal of, there's no reason to. Maybe with a Sonic Wave, no, he's got a Shallow Grave and walk away.
Vega's playing very smart, though. they know that they don't really have to make any moves. They have to stop Navi from roaching, stop them from pushing, but
Navi's coming. They're going to stun over on Mag. Another blink away. It's just so no one can survive. Mag so low. Dandy going to jump in. Beautiful rip. And we kill up the Beastmaster. But Parcher in the meantime got the bigger kill. Over on Force. Now he goes for the solo one on R-Style. He'll TP out to safety. He'll have enough time to finish that one. But you've got Seema battling up against Danny with that Death Ward. No one jumps in for some revenge. And it will be the Queen of Pain bringing down Puck. And that's a big streak. And some good money coming the way. 536 gold going in, and majority of it going to the Gyro and the Quap.
The Sven kid even killed the offlane Beastmaster though. He like went in on him, he ulted, he BKB'd, and then he still couldn't kill him. And that's really a bad tune for Navi. And again, Vega are just playing extremely well. They know that the pressure's on Navi. Navi have to come at them. Navi have to push towers. But
how are Navi meant to do that? This Wisp and Sven combo doesn't seem to really be doing anything. Even in this fight, it's a direct 5-on-5. They're not even trying to play the positional battle. The only one who did it is Dandy when he jumps in here. He came in from above, was able to get the quick pick off on the Beastmaster, but then he's nowhere near the rest of his team. We split into 3 different directions.
Yeah, and they have to split because of Black Hole. They have to split because of Casks, and they have to split because of Call Down, Black, all this AoE. And that's one of Vega's strengths to their draft. They gave it to them, and I thought they had a better response for the Gyro Cop opener, but these two heroes are owning, and the Enigma.
Looks like Dazzle's going to have a little bit more fun in middle lane shortly, but the Enigma, TP out, the balls are going to hit, but a little bit too late. Looks like that middle lane did back up. And so Evorce does at least have the crit, so the damage is really starting to kick up a lot more for Navi. But it's just if he can get close. Because, okay, you picked up the BKB early on. I know you were talking about the fact, no one that's... Actually, he can one-hit Snake if he wants to. The Stormbolt will be destroyed by the blink and he'll TP out. Because he had Scream and Sonic Wave, that Wisp would have just exploded.
I mean, Quap has a ton of HP. She's an Int Treads and she has 1500 HP. None of them are easy to kill. They just need to be able to pop somebody. But again, no heroes are low for Bloodthirst to be that useful. Like, when's the last time we saw a Vega hero about to die except for the Beastmaster that got on by the BKB Sven? Like, heroes just aren't dying around the map. And, like, he is not your ultimate late gamer. He's not your 1v5er. He is a constant fighter. He can heal up by killing people. And he gains damage from people that are hurt. And no one's getting hurt except for creeps in lane. And neutrals.
And that's not going to help him at all. Well, he'll have one bigger thing that's going to get hurt shortly. That's going to be Roshan. He spawns up in about a minute from now. And Vega have been looking for it for a while. Like, ever since the potential spawn time, they've been poking their heads in and out of that pit, waiting for Roshan to spawn up. And Navi are going to know this too. In fact, they're already pinging out and moving over there, which is hilarious considering Vega's positioning. So they're going to smoke and move to Roshan, but Vega are completely off the map. So everyone's missing. You would assume that they're actually in Roshan.
This could be disastrous. Like, imagine if they were waiting up the hill smoked and then they blink Black Hole.
Yep.
Or like BKB Black Hole.
It's only a difference of 10 seconds, man, because they're 10 seconds away from being in that exact position. And now we've realized that, yeah, there's no Roshan, so where do they go? The only logical choice is to push a tier 1 tower.
This, at least in this bottom area, they have a ward. They have a ward a little bit up where Sven is close to. But they want to fight under vision, and this is a really good place for them to fight because they can just pop the Enigma, hopefully. But then again, this is before BKB. They need to win this.
Smoke's going to break. They know there's some in the trees. They're going to see R-Star. First stun's over on him with a Sonic Wave. Can they get the damage up before he gets a Shallow Grave? No, he's already down. No Shallow Grave available. And of course, isolated on the side again to this Death Ward. The Yule Center from Denny will end up cancelling that one out, but he's isolated as well. Orbing down into the river on 140 live. He'll survive. Funnick will TP out as no one got himself somehow caught in the trees, and that's a 2-for-1 trade-off. But Vega, you lost the Enigma. You didn't have to commit the Black Hole. You can probably just pop in for Roshan now. I believe he's up. And yep, the answer is yes. And you've even got an Alpha Wolf to help you on your run.
Sven just keeps getting owned in all these fights. They have no other targets to worry about because Wisp doesn't really have the items that he needs. What item did Wisp go for? He went for drums instead of mech, right? So he doesn't really have that much sustain to keep the Sven alive. And they think Sven's safe with like the War Cry to counter the Death Ward and BKB to kind of deal with everything else. But like the Boar Slow plus the Roar is just exceptionally strong versus him.
Vega, they just keep racking it up, and it's insurance now for the Gyro. You've actually got no direct damage into the Gyrocopter at the moment because he went directly for the Talisman. So with the crit, there's no Monkey King bar coming in for this event. So there's no direct damage. So how are they meant to actually even kill the gyrocopter in these fights? Not to mention, like, around, like, if we take all the control factors out of Vega, potentially they can do it.
Yeah, I mean, he's not supposed to be this farmed at this point, right? I mean,
Well, he's not supposed to be.
I know. I mean, even on paper though, it doesn't sound that strong. Like Rupture, Gyro doesn't need to move. He wants people to stay in the same area with call down and with flag cannon. You just want to be able to right click. So Rupture isn't going to do anything.
Well, at least this is one good fight now for NAVI as Vega. They're coming in one by one. Mag might have actually triggered off these Necro Units, which are keeping Seneko in a little bit of trouble. Oh, hello, Dazzle. He'll go down to Pasha. But you've got Enigma and a Dazzle, a Wish Doctor that just died underneath the top tower. Potentially it could have been the Beastmaster as well, and that would have been really big for NAVI.
Well, they know that Gyro doesn't have a TP scroll, so they are going to move on to that side of the map, get a couple of important kills.
Yeah, Gyro's kind of all there alone in the mid. He's still feeling more confident than anybody. He's got so much damage with the Alpha Wolf behind him, plus the evasion, plus the Aegis, plus the lifesteal with the armor and regen that comes with that helm.
And 3 BKBs are coming, or 3 BKBs are coming out very soon.
Yeah. All of the immunity for Vega. They're still not ready to go high ground though. Like you got your Necro books, which are available from the Beastmaster. They are up at level 3 right now, but you don't have the... Like, I would say you don't have the jump in initiation. I don't want to count the Enigma Black Hole as that, because you kind of want that to be like your follow-up, but if you can get that Blink Dagger now over on the Beastmaster, then they've got a potential way of getting an early pick-off on Navi, and then making the hole to go high ground.
But Sven can't really walk in either, right? He doesn't have a Blink Dagger, so he can't, like, Blink stun Queen of Pain before she BKBs.
True.
Like, when she... Like, and a puck coil isn't enough time for them to not pop their BKB. So the amount of coordination that Navi needs to win a team fight is like extraordinary. Whereas all it takes is like one half-decent black hole for Vega to win. And of course, like a roar on BKB Sven, which Mag has been doing every single fight.
So you prefer to see like an Enigma jump to almost sacrifice himself to drag Navi into the fight?
I mean, that's fine. I mean, the other problem is they have better vision. They have the Hawk.
You might get your wish. Sonic Wave for Vorse down half of his life. Running away with that war cry, but they're chasing after him in solo. The one-man hole, Seneko looking for the relocate out. He actually got caught inside the black hole. The follow-up raw, Seneko will drop. He has managed to save Vorse from many much worse deaths than that, but this time around it just does not work.
Yeah, I'll walk into the black hole with you. That's what friends do.
Together we shall go down with the ship.
Let's hold hands.
They are just like Jack.
Well, that was... That's bad.
Someone needs a pan flute. But it's just the edge of it. Hilarious is like just positioning of it. Interrupt just as the edge he hits it.
It's so black and shiny. I must gravitate towards it.
You know, if it was golden, I could understand it, but it looks like Solo doesn't have the extra money
Vega
to buy the compendium.
Crushing through all.
Oh, you got another one.
I mean,
Bloodseeker dies in the bottom lane in a random area, and now it's 20-9, 30 minutes in, and Vega. It's like, wait, the Bloodseeker's down. There's Vents coming back up, but they've got more than enough time to beat the crap out of the Tier 3 tower. It's down, and even some damage into the range racks. Now, you do have Sven back up. You've got Pasha up in the air. He'll trigger the BKB and instantly turn into the call down. Now, there's no flat cannon available, so he's merely posturing at the moment, and Vega are looking just to retreat.
Buy back for a BKB charge. I would say that's pretty good. They do have reserve award, so we may see him turn around.
He's so far up. The Mallet for stun. He's going to let the Dream Coil go over on Seema. You do have that Hex over on Solo too, with the Stormbolt to control him up. We're now into the Death Ward. Denny, there's no more dodger, is there? There's the phase shift available for him. They run away, but it's a triple kill for Pasha as he just stands his ground and becomes a man. Puck is the last, like, 60 life points, Denny. How many times has he escaped on nothing? But they actually just call it. This game is over. They can't force any more fights. Vega have just walked over Navi here in game number 1. Crushed.
I mean, yes, Gyro, Queen of Pain is like the dream opener for most teams, and I think passing up Wisp, they're completely okay with that trade.
Yeah. So. And especially with the bans that came out, like, you understood, like, you got Gyro and Quap. You're never going to pick a Tining into this, or at least you don't want to pick a Tining into this. And what's your other option? The Bristleback, he got banned out in the second phase, and then you...
The laning decision was just really good by